Hello there, welcome to Pet Squad. I'm Dominic Green. This is the tiniest rabbit you're ever likely to see. He's 5 days old here at the CottonTails Sanctuary in Bristol. It's where we are today. Stories from here and around the rest of the country of animals that are looking for new homes. And perhaps you can help with one of our adoption cases today. Here they are. Well, first today is Billy. He's a 2-year-old rabbit found in a terrible state. He needs a home. Whiskey's next. His owners have passed away and he's had an ulcer in his eye. It's now been removed. He needs looking after. And these 2 chinchillas were unwanted. They're unusual pets with real character. Details of how to help coming up. Bristol Street is the CottonTails Sanctuary. It was set up in 1993 by Mairwen ABBOT, and just as rabbits breed out of control, well, so is the demand for rabbit rescue here in Bristol. It's just never ending. In the winter months, Mairwen can be seen here nursing up to 140 rabbits at any one time. But now CottonTails is on the brink of closure. Unless new premises are found by the end of the year, then the lives of hundreds of rabbits could really be in danger.
I knew what I was taking on, but I was possibly a little bit naive in the scale. I didn't envisage 900 rabbits a year. There's no way. I expected maybe a couple of hundred or something, but 900 just, overall bounds.
CottonTails, he's 2 years old, is that right, Mum?
Yes, approximately.
So what kind of character is Billy, Mum?
Billy is great fun. He's a lovely pet, but his major problem, and the reason we're having trouble finding him a home, is he has malocclusion of the front teeth, which means his teeth don't meet and they grow out of control. I can show you, if Billy will let me turn him upside down and let you see. You see there how his teeth don't meet anymore and they grow, and eventually these bottom ones would grow right up through his nose, and the top ones would grow down through the bottom of his mouth, causing possible osteomyelitis of the jaw and infection, etc. Very common thing, unfortunately, which means that he will have to have his front teeth clipped every 3 weeks for the rest of his life, which is quite a major undertaking for anyone taking him on. So although he's a lovely rabbit, it would have to be that he would have to have his teeth clipped regularly.
And what do we know about Billy's past?
He was handed into the Bristol Dogs Home. From what I gather, he was a stray. Somebody had literally thrown him out, more than likely due to his front teeth problems.
And what kind of home would be good for him now? What would you like to see him go to?
A nice family home would be really good. Nice big hutch, minimum 4 foot by 2 by 2, and a big run so he can come out and be part of the family, because they really do like to respond to people and see things going on. Even though he won't want to be handled that much, he would still like to be part of the family and have lots of toys to play with, teddies, cardboard dolls, all sorts of things.
Billy's teeth need regular attention, but he would make a truly loving pet.
And I'd like to introduce you to Coco. He's a Netherland dwarf. He's been with us just for a year. He came from CottonTails Rabbit Rescue. He was abandoned and left to starve, and I had recently lost a Netherland and happened to be there, and he caught my eye and decided that I would bring him home to have a good life with us here. He's quite a friendly character. I have 6 other bunnies, all from CottonTails. Every time I go over there, I tend to find bunnies appealing to me, and they wind their way back home with me. I like animals, and I find characteristics of rabbits quite appealing. I like the way, when you watch them in the garden, the way they run around and hop, and I just find them strange little creatures. I mean, I have cats as well, so basically I just like animals.
There you go.
Well, this here is Salt. He's a chinchilla, actually. I don't think I've ever seen a chinchilla before, Mum, but do they make good pets?
They're not good for children. I mean, I'm holding him here, but he really doesn't want to be held. He'd rather be back in his aviary again. So they're not a pet for handling. They're nocturnal, so of course they can be very noisy at night, chucking things around. They're very, very active, very destructive. If you let them in your room, they'll strip the wiring and the wallpaper and the books and everything else that isn't alive. So from that aspect, they're not, but if they're for an adult, they can be a very entertaining pet. They're good fun to watch.
What's ideal for them?
They don't like it very, very hot, so you've got to be careful that they don't overheat. I ideally keep mine in aviaries outside. Once they're used to being out, obviously you don't stick them out in the middle of winter if they're not used to it, but if you put them out in the early summer, then they get acclimatised. They really enjoy being out in an aviary, although different parts of the country, different things apply.
So Salt and his friend Pepper now, would they be ideally suited as a pair, or...?
Yes, they'd have to go together. It's 2 boys. They're about a year old, so they live to about 15, 20 years, so you get a good, good time with them. Well, the sort of home we'd like is either an aviary or a very large inside cage.
These 2 are quite good characters, then?
Yeah, they are. Except he's just trying to bite my thumb, but apart from that...
Let's hope he finds a good home.
Yeah. You are naughty. You are. You're a naughty boy.
Well, that's it from another Pet Squad from me and this little Angoran rug here at CottonTails in Bristol. Goodbye. We'll leave you with just a reminder of some of today's pets up for adoption. See you next time. See you next. They were badly mistreated as well. They really need a good home and someone who can make them happy. Here at CottonTails are Flopsy and Mopsy. I think I've got Flopsy.
Yes, I think you have. Yes.
How old are they, Mairwen?
That one is 2 years old and this one is an old lady at 9.
And what do we know about their characters?
The characters, they're fairly steady. They don't tend to sit very long when you handle them, but they're not bad at all. Typical female rabbits, I would say.
Well, they're doing all right just now.
They are, aren't they?
How do they end up with you here?
Unwanted children's pets. I would say about 95% of rabbits coming in here are because of unwanted children's pets. They are often neglected. It's not deliberate neglect, it's more ignorance really, and losing interest. They don't realise that their bottoms get dirty or their teeth overgrow or whatever. So the big thing with rabbits when you take one on is they are a lifelong commitment, at least for their life anyway. Yes.
And they need a lot of attention throughout their life. Flopsy and Mopsy, looking for a home, what would be good for them?
A large hutch, around about 6 foot by 2 by 2 is what they need, a nice run, and someone who understands that they will have some enjoyment from this one, but maybe not, you know, perhaps beyond 1 or 2 years, which is the thing to bear in mind, but she would give somebody a lovely pet in that time.
Will you be sad to see them go?
I will actually, yes, I will. Especially you. You're just gorgeous.
My name is Cathy, and this is Dudley. Dudley came to me from CottonTails Sanctuary in 1995. He was then 5 years old. He's a sooty fawn lop rabbit. He had some rather nasty habits when he came. I'm afraid he sprayed urine in all directions. But in the spring of last year he was neutered, and life is very much better for me and for him now. He shares a run with 5 cats, and I think often thinks he's a cat. And he spends other days in his run on the lawn. He carries sticks around. He thinks that's extremely funny because the cats don't do that when they're out. Oh, in the mornings, it's very much come on my food. He rattles the front of the cage when I come out. And he doesn't settle down until he's got his food. He really is a lovely rabbit now. A dear boy.